Hi guys, here I am back with another video for you today. I've got a new house I'm going to introduce to you, a Canadian house, an indie niche house from Canada, Momento Perfumery, and I'm introducing 3 fragrances for you guys. 3 fragrances that I selected from their entire collection: Ambra Imperia, Avicenna, and Gerrha. 3 different fragrances created by Perfumer owner of Mladen Dragic, I think that's how you say his name. And these are some really great indie fragrances. And I'll tell you which ones are my favorites, all coming right up. But before I cut to the intro, there's a full bottle giveaway of choice as well, thanks to Mladen from Momento Perfumery. You get to select one of the fragrances that I'm going to introduce for you guys today as a giveaway to one subscriber of this channel, and in Canada or the USA. So find out about Momento Perfumery coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian. Yes, today I'm talking about Momento Perfumery. So I was reached out by Mladen Dragic via Facebook Messenger, and he wanted to send me his samples. He did. And throughout the sampling the collection, they came in a very fancy collection, a box, and the samples themselves were really unique. I'd never seen samples like that, at least. The bottles were not unique, the caps were very unique. So I ended up sampling and I selected 3 out of the several fragrances. And I have a couple of these 3 are really great, and I really enjoy them. And I'm going to tell you about the 3, and I'll let you know which one's my favorite. But it's a great house, an indie house, and I think you guys should check it out, especially if you like indie perfumery, as these are all created by Mladen himself. And definitely supporting indie niche perfumery, as I said. So I'll let you know about the 3 fragrances and what I think about them. Before I do though, if this is your first time tuning into the channel and you still haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so that you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So are you familiar with Momento Perfumery? Do you know this house? Let me know if you do. I didn't know about this particular house until Mladen reached out to me, and I got to discover the fragrances. Interesting though, when I was sampling the samples, I liked one over the other. Now it's switched around. Interesting how that happens, because I've been wearing them from the bottle, the 3, and one of them I really enjoy. So the fragrances come in 3 different sizes: 50 ml for $105, 10 ml for $25, 5 ml for $15, and I have a link in the info box. You can go check these out. These bottles were sent to me, and before the bottles were sent to me, I received samples, as I said, and I got to select which fragrances I wanted to review. I told Mladen, I said, it's probably better to discuss 3 different fragrances from one house, as it's a brand new house. Not many people know about it. That way, you guys watching the channel can, be introduced to 3 fragrances from one house, because not all the fragrances are going to be favorites of every single person. And a good thing that I'm doing it this way, because now I know that I like one of the fragrances over the other after wearing it from the bottle. It's interesting, before I go on with the fragrances, this does tend to happen. Samples, I don't experience fragrances the same that I do with bottles versus samples. I don't know if you guys have this particular experience, but I tend to generally experience fragrances more fully, like I am supposed to experience them, from actual bottles rather than samples. So let's go ahead and start with the first one. I am going with Ambra Imperia, and this is my favorite of the 3. Initially it was Avicenna or Avicenna. It was rose. But when I started wearing these from the bottles, as I said, the Ambra Imperia smelled really great on me. It's an amber, obviously, Ambra Imperia, and it had a kind of a glossy syrupiness on me, and kind of thickness, but not like dense. Like there's a thickness, like you can tell the fragrance has a thickness and denseness about it, but it's just not, it didn't feel weighty. Like there's something light about it, even though the experience was kind of dense. It's an indie perfume. This comes in a 50 ml for $105, as I said, a 10 ml for $25, a 5 ml for $15, and this can be one of the fragrances you choose as a giveaway for subscribers of this channel from the USA and Canada. So Ambra Imperia is a warm, spicy, amber, woody fragrance with apple, honey, cinnamon, amber, sandalwood notes. But for me, I also get, with this one, I get like a nuttiness and almondiness. There's like a, maybe it's tonka beans, maybe it's, what do you call it, almonds. There's definitely like a little almondy kind of a gourmand thing happening with it. This is definitely a gourmand amber as well, but it wears really, really beautifully on me and it smells fantastic. It's got great longevity, and I actually really, really like the fact that it is an amber with its kind of gourmand, fruity touches. The only thing is it does remind me of a few fragrances I'm familiar with, like Hermès's, what is it called? Ambre Narguilé. Maybe a few fragrances like that. But this is a unique fragrance on its own. I feel like the honey and cinnamon in this are amped up. And the amber is also really, really heavy. So those three notes are really, really working beautifully together. The apple does come in, but it's not an overwhelming appley fruitiness, but there's definitely fruitiness there. And then of course the sandalwood in here also has a kind of a creaminess. So it's a very, very smooth wearing experience. Very, very delicious. As I said, it's a gourmand style amber. I do get the nuttiness in there as well. Maybe tonka beans, maybe almonds. There's a light bitterness and of course powderiness here. So I feel like there could also be like a heliotrope note in here, which is also something I experience in the next fragrance, Avicenna or Avicenna. But a gorgeous amber that I think is really, really, truly beautiful. If you like amber fragrances, you have to try this one. And one of the days it was raining when I wore this, as I took it on a trip with me. And man, in the rain it smells really, really great. It's kind of like warm body, cool air, and this fragrance kind of like, you know, heats up with my body, and then the cold wind hits my face, and then the fragrance comes to my nose. I could smell it, and it really did smell fantastic. So this is Ambra Imperia, the first fragrance from the house of Momento Perfumery. Let me know if you've sampled these fragrances from this house. Let me know if you're familiar with them. Let me know if you're Canadian. Have you heard about this house? I was not familiar until, like I said, Mladen, messaged me on Facebook, and I was very curious to try another indie perfumery. So anyway, check that out, Ambra Imperia. This is my favorite of the three I'm talking about today. Definitely, hands down, really, really delicious. And originally, when I was sampling them, I thought Avicenna was my favorite, but it's good. It's good. Both of them are really, really great, but I much prefer Ambra Imperia over Avicenna. Avicenna is also a warm experience, but it is rosy, and I'll let you know all about it. So my second favorite fragrance from Momento Perfumery is Avicenna or Avicenna. Price points are the same. I have a link in the info box. You can go check this fragrance out over there. This would be a warm, spicy, amber floral fragrance with rose absolute, pink pepper, cinnamon, and amber. And as I was saying, I was experiencing kind of like a heliotrope, powdery, almondy kind of thing with Ambra Imperia. I experience it also here in Avicenna. And I also experienced kind of like a violet experience here. So in the end, it's a warm, spicy amber fragrance with the addition of roses. And I feel like there's this violet and a heliotrope combo added to the fragrance to create like a makeup-y effect on me. I don't know if you guys like this kind of an experience, if you've ever smelled makeup. More like the old makeup, because when I was a young kid, I used to hang out with my mom. Her makeup was in her purse. I could always smell it. I don't get close to makeup nowadays, so I don't remember. But it reminds me of old makeup, like an older makeup smell that my mom had in her purse, and she'd take it out. Even like something like lipstick, so there's kind of a very makeup-y thing happening with this particular fragrance. And I think it's all the notes combined together with the ambery touches, the warmth from the ambery touches, and then the spices, because it has cinnamon and pink pepper. But then also there's that amber, and then in addition to that, it's the rose. It's a very, very rosy fragrance, and I think The reason I'm getting this makeup-y thing, I feel like there is violets here. And whenever I see violets and rose together, it creates kind of like a makeup-y smell. And that's what I'm getting with this one. And of course, there's a light almondy touch here. There's definitely like a heliotrope touch in here. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm getting with this one. But it's actually really, really delicious. So initially, when I was sampling these fragrances, I felt like this was my favorite. But after wearing Ambra Imperia from the bottle, and of course experiencing Avicenna in the bottle, I kind of reversed things around, and I much prefer this one, but this is definitely a great fragrance as well, Avicenna. If you like makeup-y smells, I hope you get to try it, or if you like a warm, ambery, rose floral fragrance experience, definitely check out Avicenna as well. I think it's definitely solid perfume making. Those two are really, really great fragrances, and I never heard of this brand before. I never heard of Mladen before, so I don't know how long he studied perfumery, but he's done a great job with those two fragrances. And then finally, the last fragrance I'm going to talk to you about today is Gerrha. And this one, I feel like it is definitely my third favorite. After sampling and wearing it, it's definitely kind of an ambery experience. Once again, these are all warm, spicy fragrances. Those are my favorite types, right? Amber, warm spices, definitely the stuff you like to wear when it's cold outside. This one definitely has a smokiness about it, and the smoke ash kind of experience rather than smoke rising, right? Like you've burned something and there's that smoky ash residue that's left. I feel like I could smell that in this particular fragrance. Very interesting, right? Because once again, it's a warm experience, but that there's that kind of ashiness here. Not like tobacco ash, just like burned whatever paper or whatever, kind of, you can smell that residue. But this has notes of cardamom, nutmeg, incense, amber, sandalwood. So unique notes, and once again, it's got sandalwood. There is that kind of a creamy dry down with this one as well, but it's got lots of spices, loads of spices. It's a very, very warm, spicy experience, and then of course it's got the ambery touches and the sandalwood, so there's that creamy, kind of syrupy experience, and then that incense comes in and creates a smoky experience. So for me, I'm not getting the church incense. As I was saying, I'm getting more of like a burned ash rather than incense. That's just the way my nose is picking up the smell in here. You could pick it up completely different, but I am experiencing this kind of like burned experience with this one, which is kind of a unique experience for a warm, spicy, ambery, woody fragrance experience. So Gerrha is the third favorite of mine. If you don't know about this particular house, please do check it out. I recommend these three fragrances from the entire collection, although they did have a tea fragrance, which I also kind of liked as well from the sample, but for me, these are the top three fragrances, and the fragrances you should definitely look into when you're, discovering this brand, Momento Perfumery. I do have a link in the info box for the brand. Go check them out. But the last fragrance, the third fragrance, is Gerrha. So on to the giveaway. We have a full bottle giveaway, a 50 ml of one of the fragrances I discussed for you today. It's either Ambra Imperia, Avicenna or Gerrha. One of these three fragrances. All you have to do is put a comment down and let me know which fragrance sounds the best to you. And then also, why would you like to win that fragrance, and what did you like about this video? If you're commenting from Canada, please put down Canada also, and then if you're commenting from the USA, please put down your state along with USA. Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and then that's it. Good luck with the giveaway. Let me know your thoughts on this brand. Do they sound interesting to you? Have you heard about the brand? Have you sampled them? Have you worn them, the fragrances? I'd like to find out. As I was saying, this is the first time I'm discovering this brand. It's a brand new brand for me, and I'm quite impressed with the first two fragrances. He did a great job with those two, and even the third one is great as well. The smoke kind of makes it a little challenging for me, but definitely has a great dry down. That once that smoke disappears, the spiciness and the woody amber experience is quite delicious, but just a little uncomfortable with the smokiness from the incense in that note, which is, something I experience and you might not experience it. Either way, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video, please share it, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.